This is Goals with Soul, the podcast for visionary coaches and entrepreneurs, building your business with inspired action. In alignment with your mission and authentic message, so you can create impact for your soul clients and feel lit up every day. I'm your host, Jo Ingram, married mum of 3 daughters from London and a former ad agency director turned business coach and strategist. In Goals with Soul, we blend revenue generation with energetics, marketing strategies with pranic healing, and ambitious business goals with our soul's desires. If you're looking to build your business with less efforting and more ease, this is the podcast for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to Goals with Soul. I'm Jo Ingram, and I'm recording this in the mountains of Portugal in the Algarve. More specifically, I'm in this amazing resort in their meditation room, which has this amazing glass vista wall where I can gaze out over the mountains whilst lying in the most comfortable meditation mattresses and beautiful statues of Buddha and plants. And it's got me thinking about what it's like when you put something in your vortex and how to bring things into reality, how to manifest. And it's interesting because I've been recording quite a few episodes about my specialism, which at this point is all about authentic brand messaging. It's about bringing your authentic truth into your brand in a way that is so unique and brilliant that only you can do it. It's about disregarding copycat coaching and cookie cutter coaching and all these other things, and just being so uniquely you that it calls your clients to you. But that is not what this episode is about. Because interestingly, I've been called more and more just recently to go back to some of the stuff I was doing maybe about 6 months ago. Talking about manifestation, because as soul-based coaches, so many of us, in fact, most of us, really love the idea of creation. We want to create this amazing life for ourselves where we call in all the things that we desire and, of course, avoid those things that we fear. But, you know, the reality is that it's not always quite that simple. It doesn't just happen that you watch The Secret or you read the book and then boom, everything just falls into place so simply. Although, if truth be told, many people do report this as fact. But chances are, if you're listening to this podcast, you're one who, like the majority, has to maybe study a little harder, think about it a bit more, absorb some more materials, and actually kind of think about how to bring things into reality by stopping the mind chatter in a way that a little bit more based on the reality of our busy lives and less about the idea of going up to some silent mountaintop and just allowing all the good things to come to you. Because I don't even think that that's how the universe wants it to be. The universe puts us in this busy, cluttered, challenging environment and gives us all of these gifts, all of these challenges in order that we may create in spite. Do I want to use in spite? No, I want to say in cohesion with, in collaboration with the challenges. The universe is gifting us the grace to travel through the demands of our families, the fears that come up through our work, the everyday 3D crap that shows up. Whether that's, fear about scarcity, whether that's genuine grieving and losing jobs and having problems with your children and sickness and all of those really difficult things that come up and to a very high degree are absolutely unavoidable. The 3D world will keep gifting us these things. And it is really our choice about how we deal with them or what we choose to do with that information. And I suspect more than most, have made decisions in the past that are not in alignment with really integrating amazing high vibe thoughts in spite of stuff that goes on. And here I am in my most amazing retreat on my family holiday. And I called it a retreat because we're in this place that honestly, I could never have imagined I'd be sitting in right now. And it happened almost by accident. We booked our family holiday to Portugal. We, in fact, had not had a family holiday in the sunshine for 3 years because of the pandemic, and really wanted to get away into the sunshine and enjoy some time with the kids. We like to swim in the sea and go to the beach and be by the pool and do some adventurous stuff. We like kayaking and caving as a family, and we have all this in our vortex. It's like, this is what we're going to do. So we picked Portugal, well, for a number of reasons. Firstly, they're really relaxed. They've reduced a lot of the restrictions over the pandemic, which gives us a lot of freedom about how we enjoy our holiday. But also because I came to Lisbon, in the capital of Portugal, just a few months ago on a business retreat with my own coach and my mastermind sisters. It was the first time I visited Portugal. I was absolutely blown away by the beauty of Lisbon and the friendliness of the people who live here in Portugal, and just knew that I really wanted to bring the kids back. I wanted to visit the Algarve. I started to think what this could look like if I lived in Portugal. I've always had this idea that I would live in a warm country by the coast, which, you know, coming from London, the weather's always a bit variable, and I'm just a sunshine creature. I know that I always light up when I have the warmth of the sun on me, and just decided that for my future, particularly now having a business that is geographically free, I should definitely look to where I'd like to live next. My husband, Ivan, is 100% on board. Our kids, the younger ones, the twins, they're 11 right now, and they're about to go to high school. So, you know, there's some questions about how their education will look, but there are some great international schools here in Portugal. And my eldest, Kitty, is just about to fly the nest, and she's off to university to study adult nursing. So, you know, we're definitely changing as a family. The kids are getting older, so it's starting to open up these new possibilities. So here we are in Portugal, and we're doing our thing, or rather, I should rewind for a minute. I booked the accommodation for our holiday, and we're a kind of low rent family. Over the years, we've always got away, and we always prioritize having a longer holiday rather than having a how do I say it, like a more expensive accommodation. So when we've looked at money, we've been like, you know what, we've got a certain budget. We could choose to spread that budget out for much longer, or we could blow the budget in, 1 week. And although we have had the blow the budget in 1 week times, this year we're like, you know what, we're going to set a budget. We're going to have a longer holiday. We wanted to do 16 nights. So we booked into what we've always done in the past, which are like campsites where you stay in, I guess in the States you call them trailers. In the UK we call them caravans, but they're pretty cool. We've got 3 bedrooms and a terrace, and they're pretty nice. And they're on these campsites that have great pools that we share, and evening entertainments and camp shops and all this stuff. And it's great for the kids. And it certainly has been as they were younger. They would make friends. And it was just, a really great way of having a holiday. So I just defaulted to what we've always done in the past. And I booked a couple of campsites. We're hiring a car and we're going to tour around, staying at 3 different centres. And then literally like 3 or 4 weeks before departure, I get an email from one of the accommodations saying, yeah, we're really sorry, but we're not opening this season. We've been doing some renovations. They're not finished. Here's your money back. Here's a bit of compensation, but I'm really sorry. You're going to have to find somewhere else. Now, as a family of 5, only a few weeks before your summer holiday in high season, this is not what you want to hear. You're like, oh no, now we've got to find another accommodation. So my husband just decided he's going to look on Airbnb and he's going to come up with something. And he booked like an apartment somewhere by the coast. It looked okay, whatever. The most important thing was we had accommodation booked. And, the Airbnb is pretty cool because you can book and they give you a completely free cancellation if you cancel it a certain number of days before departure. And so we potted on. And then suddenly about maybe less than a week before we're going, my husband says, I'm going to just look again and see if something else comes up. And he says, Joe, you're not going to believe this. He doesn't call me Joe, actually. He calls me Rue, which is a long story. But he's like, Rue, check this out. I've just found this amazing accommodation. And we look at it and it's like, what? It's this resort. It's just 3 I say apartments, but they're under canvas. If you're familiar with the word glamping, it's like insane. They're like these luxury safari tents, massive with sofas and full kitchens and luxury bathrooms and 3 bedrooms and this enormous terrace. And they're set on this resort right high up in the mountains with the most stunning views. And here is a pool, a spa, a meditation room, a hammam, a massage room. It's just like, what? Like an outdoor fire pit. Oh, saunas, 2 different kinds, infrared and a natural sauna. I'm just like, what is this? He says, I know. And get this, it's even cheaper than what we'd booked before. And not only that, but we've got in the compensation from the first place. It's like it's meant to be. And he just went ahead and booked it. And I was like, whoa, how can this place even be available this close to our dates? And yet I knew that there was this little shiver in me that said, the universe is gifting this to you. And interestingly, what came up for me around this was, this is too good for us. Literally, I was like, this is too good for us. Thinking, I've got quite noisy kids. We're a rowdy growing family. I was like, how can we descend on this peaceful oasis in the hills? Is this even meant for us? Is this meant for me? And maybe to some degree, I was using the kids as an excuse for my own not good enoughness, thinking, I'm not good enough for this. This is too good for me. How can I deserve this? How can this be available to me? And back to what I said before about being a low rent kind of family. This is a story that I had told myself, that we can get by, that it's okay being in scarcity. And in actual fact, this stay here was cheaper than that first apartment that my husband booked by the coast. And not only that, but we got compensation from the cancelled accommodation. It wasn't more expensive. And yet, because of its beauty, because of its luxury, I had got it in my head that this was not for me. Now, I take that as an amazing gift because it gave me an opportunity to think about this. It was drawn into my awareness. I could now start to process this and start to actually unpeel the onion layers about why I felt that this wasn't good enough. And actually, it moved through really fast. I was like, you know what? This is meant for me. This is the breadcrumbs that the universe gives you. I want to go to Portugal. I want to book a low rent holiday. The low rent accommodation cancels us. My husband finds somewhere else. Then a week before we're due to leave, this suddenly becomes available, which, by the way, if you're interested, this is because this beautiful location, it was their very first season. We're in fact only the second people to stay in our lodge. Everything is brand new. It's gorgeous. And they had literally just opened availability when my husband happened to be looking on Airbnb, which, you know, is the universe again, giving you that synchronicity, that timing. And he just booked it without even showing it to me. He was like, well, I could cancel if you wouldn't like it, but I knew that you would like it. And of course, he was completely right. It just happened so effortlessly. And that reminds me of how when you are in tune with the universe and you are just open and ready, the universe makes it effortless. It just gifts it to you. And I'm recording this in the meditation room in Portugal, in the Algarve, in the mountains, at this beautiful resort. I've gone off for my morning meditation. The kids are sitting on the veranda overlooking the hills, having their Cocoa Pops or whatever, their croissants for breakfast. And I'm just getting this amazing feeling and opportunity that there's even more breadcrumbs coming. As I look at this resort, I know that I'm going to hold retreats right here. It's like, whoa, this is happening. I'm looking around and I just know that my clients, my mastermind sisters, the women that I work with in this space, in the world of online coaching, in the spiritual world of online coaching, this is where we belong for a retreat. This is where we're going to get the opportunity to really invite in the magic of the universe, both morning meditations, to work on our businesses together in the amazing shared air-conditioned spaces, and then relax by the pool and have saunas. And invite the massage therapist in for treatments, and get an opportunity to feel this way, to feel that the universe knows that not only we're good enough, but we are brilliant. We deserve the beauty in life. We deserve to be treated, to feel fully relaxed. We deserve to feel the abundance flowing around us. And it doesn't have to kill you and beat your scarcity to a pulp. It doesn't have to be like you have to separate with thousands and thousands and thousands to prove a point. These things are available at money that everyone can access. Money that is available to us when we literally bring in one high-ticket client who goes on to make such phenomenal transformation in their lives that money was not a lot in the scheme of how their life unfolds. And I reflect on my own path, how separating with that first $3,000 when I took my very first program that actually launched me into this space, I thought, $3,000? Are you crazy? And that $3,000 paid itself back real fast. Real fast in a week? No. Real fast in a month? No. But now I look back, in the scheme of things, did it really kill me, that $3,000? No, not only did it not kill me, it actually launched me. It enabled me to make 3,000, 3,000, 3,000 and continue on my journey and continue making money. And although I digress a bit, I think the reason I'm particularly talking about this because scarcity has been coming up a lot. It's been coming up for my clients. It's been coming up in my mind, as I just described, about not feeling good enough coming to this amazing place. And I'm already seeing that when you open yourself and you allow yourself to be in spaces, places with people who push you to that point, it suddenly opens up. And I'm sitting here knowing that I belong here. Not only do I belong here, but I'm going to host here. It's in my vortex. As I look out over the view, I'm literally looking right now at these hills as the sun shines off of them. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming back here with my clients and we're all going to make amazing progress. We're going to sit here. We're going to sun ourselves in the pool. We're going to work on our businesses. We're going to do all these things that let the universe know that we're ready for our up level. We're ready for our next stage. And that excites me. That's phenomenally exciting. And this podcast, as all business related things are, we talk about ourselves, but it's not really about us. It's about you. It's about our clients. And I'm thinking so much about you right now, about what that means. What's holding you back? What is it that really is those first breadcrumbs that are starting to sit in your vortex that you're resisting? And as I've just described, when you suddenly open to it and one thing happens, then the next, then the next, then the next, I'm literally ready to open to what the next thing is. And I think to myself, will my retreat be this year, next year? When's it going to be? And then I stop myself and I remind myself that when it comes to the universe, it's not about the when, it's just about doing. It's not about the how, it's just about the knowing. And I know it. And that is enough right now. And just being able to be here with my children and feel that as a family, we can enjoy the beauty of the luxury, the beauty of the experience together. And when we were at the campsite last week, we had a really lovely time, by the way. It was great. The accommodation was a little cramped, but the pool spaces were beautiful. And we got out a lot. We did the aqua park. The kids loved the big rides. And we went canoeing, kayaking around the coast through the different caves just off the coast of the Algarve, which just mind-blowing. And I'm sitting in that kayak with one of my daughters and I'm rowing us along, looking up. By the way, I did geography at college, at university, and I just love rock formations. And I love listening to the guide describe that we're looking up at these shells planted in the rocks that are 28 million years old. So humbling. And just being and having these experiences and then moving to this location and just stopping. It's like, wow, as amazing as last week was, we just don't need to rush anymore. And I've never been a great sleeper. I've always been one of these people, particularly when I was in corporate, I was awake at 3 a.m. Quite frequently, I'm awake at 5:30, 6 a.m. And I used to see that as, whoa, check me, I'm hardcore. And now I know better. I'm like, no, sleep is one of the most important things you can have. Forget all these miracle mornings. If you're not getting to bed early enough to get enough sleep, this isn't the right route. And suddenly now on vacation, I'm like, getting these lie-ins, sleeping. Now we're in this location. Literally, I slept later this morning than I have for the rest of the year. I can't remember sleeping this late. And then straight into meditation, give the kids their Cocoa Pops and chill. And it's been a really great eye-opener, sort of reminding myself what life can be like. And have I been doing much work on this vacation? You know, I brought my laptop with me. I've opened it once for 5 minutes to just make sure I'm checking in with my clients, and I'm doing a little on my phone, but really it's just unwind. And here I am recording a podcast, and this is work. And I think that to some degree, there's a truth in the fact that it's not how much you do, it's doing what inspires you. And sitting in this meditation room, just come out of meditation, I was absolutely called to share this with you. And I don't know what that means for you personally, what you've been sitting on, what those breadcrumbs are that you're like, hell, it's time that I embraced my abundance, that I was ready to be my next level self. And if that's something I can help you with, then, you know, by the time you hear this, I'm sure I'm back from vacation. You just message me, because I'm here to support women coaches who are up leveling with their truth, their authenticity, and calling in what is rightfully theirs because of just who they are. Not all the hard work and efforting, but allowing grace to flow. And boy, it's not been an easy journey for me. And it's still something that I work on over and over, but that's gifting me the grace to be able to share this message with you today. And so I'm going to go. I'm actually going to hit another meditation and then rejoin the kids for a bit of pool time and just, you know, chill. So I hope that this has been a good one for you today. Please do be in touch. I'd love to hear from you. And until then, have an inspired action week. Take care. Bye now.